It's Monday, November 3rd. A final decision on Lansdowne 2.0 expected at council this week as a local construction group expresses concern over the decision to hire a non-local company to handle the massive overhaul.
We need to be thinking about diversification in terms of exports, but also how we work with other countries.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is getting set to unveil his first budget this week as local residents wait to hear more about potential public sector cuts.
And there could be some traffic headaches in Centertown as construction begins on a local bike lane. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Will is off for today.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody had a great weekend.
Very sad.
I know. It was a sad weekend.
Very sad, actually. I mean, I woke up on Sunday going, why do I feel, right, yeah, we didn't win.
You know, we were talking earlier.
Close.
I'm like, there are losses. Like, it always hurts to lose, right? Like, it just never feels good to lose. That loss was just absolutely heartbreaking. Yeah. Just there were so many what ifs, and I think that's what makes it so much harder.
Yeah. Okay. One little takeaway that just lifts my heart to see Vladdy Guerrero walk in with Marie-Philippe Poulin jersey on. I was like, oh my gosh, that was a game changer. That was amazing. Just celebrating, uplifting women's sports and going, yeah, she's she's a goat. She's a goat right there. That was amazing. That lifted my heart. Too bad on how it turned out, but that is heartbreaking. But we must move on.
We sure
There
will.
you go. Now we got to get to today's top stories. As City Council prepares to make a final decision on Lansdowne 2.0 this week, a local trades council is expressing very serious concerns over the decision to hand the construction contract to a non-local company. The project was awarded to a firm headquartered in Quebec City. In a letter sent to City Council obtained by CTV, Ottawa's Business Building Trades Union states, this race to the bottom lowest bid process undermines our collective efforts to make our local economy stronger, and it builds upon the growing distrust many people feel towards elected officials. City Councilor Riley Brockington says there were 3 bids for the project, but states a good price for taxpayers was top priority.
At the end of the day, we want to support as many local companies as possible, but we also want to make sure that we protect taxpayer dollars. So it's a Canadian company, maybe not local, but that's one thing that, again, we have to balance.
The $419 million project would include 2 residential towers, new north-side stands at TD Place, and a new arena. The final vote will be taken at council on Friday.
All eyes from across Canada will be on the nation's capital as the federal government is set to release its long-anticipated budget tomorrow.
We need to be thinking about diversification in terms of exports, but also how we work with other countries.
This is the Liberals' first fiscal update in about a year and a half. It will be Mark Carney's first budget as Prime Minister, and it comes at a critical time with elevated trade tension between Canada and the United States. A record deficit is expected, and with the Liberals holding a minority government, they will need the support from another party to pass the budget. The Public Service Alliance of Canada is also warning about the possibility of deep job cuts, including tens of thousands of workers in the federal public service. And CTV News will have special coverage of the 2025 budget, hosted by Chief Anchor and Senior Editor Omar Sachedina and Chief Political Correspondent Vashi Kapellos. Coverage starts on Tuesday at 4 p.m. on CTV News Channel and ctvnews.ca.
Voters in Gatineau have re-elected their mayor in a tight race over one of her council colleagues. Maude Marquis-Bissonnette was elected with 51% of the vote, while Mario Aubé followed with 47%. Voter turnout was at 41%. Marquis-Bissonnette was first elected in a by-election last year. Her party picked up 11 of a possible 19 council seats.
And Ontario is taking a more active role in recruiting doctors from Quebec. It comes as doctors are protesting against Bill 2.
I've never seen so much distress in my colleagues. People are crying, people are stressed out. I'm going to be able to treat my patients, and it's terrible. The system is crumbling.
The special law was introduced and passed on October 24th. The new law changes how doctors are paid, tying compensation and financial penalties to performance targets. Bill 2 also calls for the creation of a system to monitor physicians. The situation caught the attention of Ontario's Premier, Doug Ford.
Call 1-800-DOUG-FORD, all the docs, and come by, call me on my cell phone. It's on the internet. We'll have you working real quick.
According to the Quebec's College of Physicians, nearly 200 doctors already have their license to work in Ontario. Another 200 are in the process of getting it.
A warning: traffic headaches around the intersection of Laurier Avenue and Elgin Street are set to start tomorrow. The city will start to work to improve cycling and pedestrian safety at that intersection. During construction, there will be lane reductions on 2 roadways. This comes after a 27-year-old woman died after being hit by a pickup truck at that intersection in July. And in 2019, a cyclist died in a hit and run at the same intersection. It's the end of the line for the Canada Golf and Country Club. Club Link has confirmed that the course is now closed for good as its owners move to build the housing development on the property. Club Link had first announced its plans to build 1,500 homes in 2018, but has been in a drawn-out legal fight since then over green space. In September, the Supreme Court dismissed an appeal on the decision from the City of Ottawa.
Canada's Victoria Mboko has won the Hong Kong Open, her second WTA title of the season.
Victoria Mboko, sensational season, is sealed in style. Natalie Torzay on her feet.
In the almost 3-hour match, the 19-year-old defeated Spain's Cristina Bocsha in the longest tour-level final of 2025. Mboko reached the final after defeating fellow Canadian Leylah Fernandez Saturday.
Women making an impact in the tennis world in Canada, and I love it.
Yeah, what a great year she's having. That is wonderful. Good on her. Melissa, so after a soggy Halloween, I know it was way back on Friday, but things started to dry out over the weekend, cool off a bit. How's it looking today?
It's looking not too bad. We could still see some soggy conditions, but better than Halloween indeed, where depending on where you lived, you actually got a little bit of a break. And in Orleans, I can tell you, 5:15, the rain stopped, and so we were able to have a dry Halloween. However, 20 minutes away out in Sarsfield, it was still pouring rain at 6 p.m. So just depended on where you lived for your Halloween trick-or-treating. For our forecast today, it's not too bad temperature-wise. We're sitting at 4 degrees already. Cooler in Cornwall, sitting at -1. You can see warm starts your day in Trenton as well as in Kingston for today. Pardon me. So we are expecting a few scattered showers in the forecast later on this afternoon. So late this morning into your afternoon, we are expecting this wet weather. So this is what we are seeing in our skies. For us here in Ottawa, wet. However, I just want to show you this white, this purple, this pink. This is mixed precipitation. So some areas already starting to see freezing rain, and yes, some snow. So it's just a matter of time before we see that here in the city as well. We will see a few scattered showers throughout most of the work week this week, so it is looking a little soggy. On top of that rain, we're seeing some more intense winds gusting out of the southwest, 30 up to 50 kilometers an hour today. So a windier morning. This will continue right through until your evening, and it won't start to come down until later on tonight. In your closet today, definitely need those umbrellas because it will be a little bit wet into the afternoon. 10 degrees is the daytime high today, so temperatures a little bit above the daytime average. 10 in Ottawa, 9 for Pembroke, Bancroft, 10 out in Trenton, 12 is the daytime high in Cornwall for today. Everybody's seeing this mixture of a few scattered showers, but a little bit of sunshine in there as well. Similar day for tomorrow, 10 degrees is also the high. We are expecting more scattered showers. Periods of rain for Wednesday, and then overnight Wednesday, that's the night that we could actually start to see some flurries in the forecast as this system changes from rain to snow because temperatures falling to -1. Don't worry, won't stick around too long. It'll be sunny and beautiful on Thursday with a high of 8, then a cooler weekend in the forecast for us. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic, and we aren't seeing any major issues east to west. Traffic is looking pretty decent this hour, and we are collision free. Rosie.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, Budget Day is tomorrow on Parliament Hill. We get a preview of what we can expect from Prime Minister Mark Carney's first budget. That is just ahead. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa on your Monday. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of being tired? Join us for Sleep Week, where we'll break down the top ways to get your best rest and help you wake up feeling refreshed.
Sleep Week on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Weekdays, brought to you in part by Ontario's Sleep Care.
Hey, Ottawa, know someone who secretly makes our city amazing? We want to hear about them.
You know, the kind of person who goes above and beyond without ever asking for anything in return.
Because Move 100, CTV, and Lazy Boy want to give them a huge shout-out.
We're searching for Ottawa's unsung heroes, the everyday people doing extraordinary things. Nominate someone for a chance to win them a $5,000 Lazy Boy gift card.
Nominate your local hero today.
Let's celebrate those who make Ottawa a better place.
Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. Local Trades Council expresses very serious concerns with Lansdowne 2.0 construction contracts. Voters in Gatineau have re-elected Maude Marquis-Bissonnette as their mayor in a tight race, and all eyes from across Canada will be on the nation's capital as the federal government is set to release its long-anticipated budget tomorrow. Your full forecast in 15 minutes. But first, we're going to take a check on the forecast. And we're taking a look here. Could get a couple of showers in through the afternoon. Temperature, we're expecting a high of 11 degrees. That puts us a couple of degrees above our seasonal average. And then looking at, again, a chance of showers into the evening hours. We should be at about 7 degrees, back down to the single digits later on today. And taking a look at your traffic, no major slowdown so far. 6:14 on your Monday morning. Things are looking quite nice. Why don't we take a look at TSN's must-see moment.
Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Cincinnati. Bears, Bengals, a wild game in the second quarter. Joe Flacco airs it out for T. Higgins, and he steals it from the defender and walks in for the TD. Higgins has the defender all over him, but he reaches his arms out and reels in the fantastic grab for the must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, we've got Monday Night Football. The Cardinals facing the Cowboys. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
This week, Mark Carney will unveil his first federal budget, the fiscal plan for his government to navigate the economic uncertainty posed by ongoing trade war with the United States and get Canadian productivity back on track after years of decline. But as CTV's Colton Prail reports, new polling suggests a split on whether that means investing big or tackling a growing national debt.
2 days before Mark Carney presents his first federal budget, it's still not clear which party will help the minority Liberal government pass it.
We don't need a higher cost of living through a higher costed budget. We need an affordable budget for affordable lives for all Canadians.
The Conservatives and the Bloc both say they're willing to help on their own terms. Pierre Poilievre is calling for fewer taxes and less spending.
The inflation that spending has caused has landed on the shoulders of single moms and seniors and others who can't pay their bills.
But new polling by Nanos Research for CTV News shows more Canadians are willing to accept a higher level of spending if it means investing in programs for Canadians. Support for the idea is up to 47%, from 35% 2 years ago, and neck with those hoping for a balanced budget that cuts taxes.
The single most important thing this budget needs to work towards is increasing investment in Canada. We have both immediate challenges with what we're doing with the United States and long-term challenges around growth and productivity.
Support for infrastructure investment as a top budget priority has doubled since 2023, now just behind tackling the deficit. But healthcare remains the top priority for Canadians, even as issues like inflation, housing, and tariff relief take away some of the focus.
For average Canadians, what they want to see is no cuts to healthcare at this particular point in time, but they're going to want to see investments in the long term.
Mark Carney campaigned on a $4 billion investment in community healthcare and has repeatedly promised not to cut provincial health transfers.
While the Liberals don't have the votes on their own to pass the budget, they could do it if some opposition members abstained from voting. Asked about that today, Poilievre says his Conservative MPs will be there Tuesday and do their jobs. Colton Prale, CTV News, Ottawa.
Okay, so over the weekend, we all did it. We went back an hour, and now we're back to standard time. I'm wondering how it felt for you. For me, it was a lot of fun to not set a couple of clocks, not reset them, and then look and think, wait a minute, no, it's 4 o'clock. Actually, no, it's just 3 o'clock. So gaining an hour was quite nice over the weekend, especially for folks like us who have to get up that early in the morning. So I do feel like rather refreshed and like I've gained an hour. That feels pretty good. So I'm wondering about you. How do you feel? How many hours of sleep do you get each night? How is it looking for you? Let us know. Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca. Yeah, Melissa. Yeah. So I know you had a super busy weekend.
It was
from
very busy.
Halloween Friday and then waiting out the rain, taking the kids trick-or-treating into the evening. And then you told me about Saturday.
We had dance class Saturday morning with my daughter, and then I had an event Saturday night, and then Sunday mornings we have skating lessons. So yeah, it was an extremely busy weekend, and I'm the opposite. I feel more exhausted today, and I think it's only because my kids are confused with the time change.
Okay, yeah, how'd they take it?
I
Did
mean,
you get an extra hour?
I sure didn't. I sure didn't. They went to bed a little bit later, like it was still hard to get them to bed for whatever reason. And then when we got them to bed, our daughter was up several times last night. I think three times last night. So she's not dealing with the time change well, then makes me not deal with the time change well.
It's so true, because everything is contingent on the kids. It's like, you know, if they get a good night's sleep, then you probably will. If they don't, you obviously don't.
My sleep is 100% dependent on them. I can always get a good sleep, but if they are up, that's what disturbs my sleep.
That is so tough.
100% dependent on my kids.
Oh, wow. Well, okay. I guess I'll brag just a little bit. Melissa, block your ears. Block your ears. Yeah, it was nice to gain that hour, and it feels a little bit. But yes, I know that days now are super short, sun setting much earlier, but then again, for me, it puts me, I'm so disciplined now, Melissa.
I'm like, easier to go to bed?
It's easier to go to bed. I'm like 5, 6, 7 o'clock. I'm at home. I'm good. I can go to bed and I don't feel like a strange individual because it's dark.
Yeah,
so it's okay.
Exactly. It does help this schedule a lot, I feel, but you do feel like it's just like you feel like you're not seeing daylight very often because you go to bed, it's dark, and you wake up, it's dark. But
there you go. All right. Canadians are divided on whether Prime Minister Mark Carney should invest big or tighten his fiscal belt in the upcoming federal budget. A new survey conducted for CTV News by Nanos Research pitted running a budget to invest in programs for Canadians against balancing the budget to ease the tax burden. Why don't we bring in Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA to hear what he has to say. Good morning to you, Bill.
Good morning. Well, if they were hoping to read the tea leaves to figure out what it is Canadians want to just give it to us, which is not a definition of leadership in my book, but it's often how the Liberal government seems to do things around here. But if they were waiting for polls like ours, it is very split on what Canadians want, almost evenly split on whether or not we should focus on reducing the deficit or spending to get Canadians through a tough time. There's another poll out there, too, though, that shows actually a very strong majority of Canadians are against the idea of running up the deficit. All I know is that two things that we've been promised in the last 10 years and the last 10 months are not true. The budget didn't balance itself as the Trudeau government promised it would, and the Carney government hasn't managed to get a deal with Donald Trump, which they promised they would. I think they dragged their feet on bringing in this budget, hoping we'd have a deal. Now we go into a very uncertain future and a budget that has to deliver for Canadians who are very mixed about what it is they even need. Very few Canadians in our poll are in favor of supporting business or buffering us against tariffs ahead of the idea of making sure Canadians can afford to buy the things they need to buy. They want the government to make life easier and cheaper for them. So there's a lot they're going to have to consider here. And I'll tell you guys, I've been watching my texts. Shortly after the last election, Mark Carney had the support of many people, our listeners. I know them. They normally would vote Conservative, but they liked his resume. They thought he was the guy to get us through these tough times. they are starting to soften. A few of them were appalled to hear him apologize to Donald Trump on the weekend for that Ronald Reagan commercial, even though we got nothing. Again, another apology, nothing in return. Donald Trump still refusing to talk with us. So I think he's losing the support that got him over the hump and got him his minority government. So he's going to have to deliver tomorrow big time. I don't see how he does that.
Okay, well, Bill, we'll be able to watch that 4 p.m. Tuesday on CTV Newsnet news channel and also ctvnews.ca. Omar Sachedina and Bashi Capellos will be all over that. Thank you so much, Bill.
You have a great day.
You too. And you remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, do you get enough sleep each night? We'll tell you how much we get and take your comments on how much sleep you get too. Here's a live look through our sky cam on George Street this morning. Yes, it is dark outside, but not too bad temperature-wise. We are sitting at 4 degrees.
Ottawa, we are asking for your comments on sleep. How many hours of sleep do you get each night? Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. Ah, sleep, Melissa.
Ah, sleep. Yeah, something I like. I long for sleep.
Yeah.
I love sleep so much.
Remember when you could just sleep in?
Before I had kids, I swear I would sleep 9-10 hours a night.
Right?
I kid you not.
Yeah, and nobody poking you with their feet or hand falling on your face at night, right? And you could just sleep.
I remember before I became a mom, I was always my biggest concern, like, am I going to be able to do this lack of sleep? Because I'm a sleeper. Like, I love, I can sleep 9-10 hours, no problem.
Yeah.
But then you just adjust and you find a way. And so now my sleep is a lot different than it was.
It's different, yeah.
And I don't get as much as I would like to get. I think waking up on this shift and, you know, I can't go to bed super early because I have to put my kids to bed first. So I'm very dependent on my kids. So
Okay. So we're going to share how many hours of sleep we get. Okay. So there you go. I get 7 hours.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, about seven.
Yeah, that's not bad. Will's 8.5. He's lucky.
He gets a lot of sleep.
Gets a lot of sleep. And I'm
Melissa?
about 6 to 7. So sometimes I get that 7.
It depends, yeah.
It depends. And, you know, sometimes it's fragmented into 2-hour increments, just again, depending on the night. But I try to put my kids to bed and then go to bed right after, but you know, it doesn't always work out that way.
Oh my gosh, Melissa, don't you notice the difference? If you only get 6 or 4.5 or 5.5, but then when you get more sleep, it's like
weekends.
such a
I
difference.
get a lot. I will say I probably get 8 or 9 on weekends. So it's just the weekdays that are a little shorter.
All right, we're going to be hearing from you later in the show. We're asking, how many hours of sleep do you get each night? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. We will be right back. Good morning, just after 6:30. Welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Will is away for today.
He is away today. It looks like the showers are going to join us once again today. Might be a little wet.
That's right. We are expecting some wet weather today. Kind of continuation. We saw, you know, wet weather last week, and this week is looking a little soggy as well, and windy.
And windy as well. I know you're going to get to that in just a moment, but first off, we're going to talk about today's top stories. As City Council prepares to make a final decision on Lansdowne 2.0 this week, a local trades council is expressing very serious concerns over the decision to hand the construction contract to a non-local company. The project was awarded to a firm headquartered in Quebec City. In a letter sent to City Council obtained by CTV, Ottawa's Building Trades Union states, "This race to the bottom lowest bid process undermines our collective efforts to make our local community stronger, and it builds upon the growing distrust many people feel toward elected officials." City Councilor Riley Brockington says there were 3 bids for the project, but states a good price for taxpayers was top priority.
At the end of the day, we want to support as many local companies as possible, but we also want to make sure that we protect taxpayer dollars. So it's a Canadian company, maybe not local, but that's one thing that, again, we have to balance.
The $419 million project would include 2 residential towers, new northside stands at TD Place, and a new arena. The final vote will be taken at Council on Friday.
Prime Minister Mark Carney's minority government will table its first budget tomorrow, and Canadians appear to be divided on what the top priority should be.
For average Canadians, what they want to see is no cuts to health care at this particular point in time, but they're going to want to see investments in the long term.
According to a new survey conducted for CTV News by Nanos Research, Canadians are split on whether Prime Minister Mark Carney should invest big or cut back on spending. The results showing more Canadians are willing to accept a higher level of spending if it means investing in programs for Canadians. Support for the idea is up to 47%, but it remains pretty much tied with people hoping for a balanced budget that cuts taxes. The Liberals don't have the votes to pass the budget on their own, and it's still not clear which party could help them pass it. And CTV News will have a special coverage of the Budget 2025 hosted by Chief Anchor and Senior Editor Omar Sachedina and Chief Political Correspondent Vashi Kapelos. Coverage starts on Tuesday at 4 p.m. on CTV News Channel and ctvnews.ca.
Voters in Gatineau have re-elected their mayor in a tight race over one of her council colleagues. Maude Marquis-Bissonnette was elected with 51% of the vote, while Mario Obey followed with 47%. Voter turnout was at 41%. Marquis-Bissonnette was first elected in a by-election last year. Her party picked up 11 of a possible 19 council seats.
Ontario is taking a more active role in recruiting doctors from Quebec. It comes as doctors are protesting against Bill 2.
I've never seen so much distress in my colleagues. People are crying, people are stressed out. I'm going to be able to treat my patients, and it's terrible. The system is crumbling.
The special law was introduced and passed on October 24th. The new law changes how doctors are paid, tying compensation and financial penalties to performance targets. Bill 2 also calls for the creation of a system to monitor physicians. The situation caught the attention of Ontario's Premier Doug Ford.
Call 1-800-DOUG-FORD, all the docs, and come by, call me on my cell phone. It's on the internet. We'll have you working real quick.
According to Quebec's colleges of physicians, nearly 200 doctors already have their license to work in Ontario. Another 200 are in the process of getting it.
A warning, traffic headaches around the intersection of Laurier Avenue and Elgin Street are set to start tomorrow. The city will start to work to improve cycling and pedestrian safety at that intersection. During construction, there will be lane reductions on 2 roadways. This comes after a 27-year-old woman died after being hit by a pickup truck at that intersection in July. And in 2019, a cyclist died in a hit and run at the same intersection. It is the end of the line for the Canada Golf and Country Club. Club Link has confirmed that the course is now closed for good as its owners move to build a housing development on the property. Club Link had first announced its plans to build 1,500 homes in 2018, but has been in a drawn-out legal fight since then over green space. In September, the Supreme Court dismissed an appeal on the decision from the City of Ottawa.
It's the first official day of Polar Bear Week.
It's an annual event launched by Polar Bears International, a nonprofit organization dedicated to the bears and the Arctic Sea.
While polar bears always gather on the shores of Hudson Bay in the fall to hunt seals, climate change is posing challenges, with Polar Bear Week meant to shine and spotlight and raise awareness.
Look at how majestic they are.
Right.
And they can be deadly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, they are beautiful from afar, and they are a stunning, stunning creature and animal. But yes, I would never want to be in close proximity with one personally.
Look at that. And look at all that snow.
Right? Doesn't it just make you a little cool and chilly seeing all that?
Kind of wonder, I'm just looking at you wondering, when is that day going to come? And I know it's coming, where you're just going to tell us about some SNOW.
Possibility this week, Rosie. That's how close it is to us.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Not a lot of snow. However, there is a chance we could see some flurries overnight on Wednesday. Don't worry, we have a couple days before we have to worry about that, and it's not going to stick around too long. For us today, some showers. It'll be wet and windy this afternoon, and then kind of a wet work week as well. So still warm enough where we're seeing rain as opposed to snow. However, it is popping up on our forecast model. For us here in Ottawa today, scattered showers this morning, continuing into the afternoon. So not a complete wash, but some scattered showers here and there. But yes, check this out. We are starting to see snow now in our forecast models. Not for us here in Ottawa. This week, we could see some Wednesday overnight, but other areas definitely seeing some freezing rain and some snow mixtures. So it is coming in just a matter of probably a couple weeks. Windy conditions today as well. Southwest winds gusting 30 up to 50 kilometers an hour. So we're going to see these very intense winds into your afternoon today. That will continue into your overnight as well and right through into your early morning hours tomorrow. So a couple of windy days in the forecast for us. We're going to see some wet conditions over the next few days, but at least temps are quite mild, a little bit above seasonal into your afternoon. A daytime high today of 10 degrees this afternoon in Ottawa, 11 in Kemptville, Brockville, 12 out along the Seaway, so very mild out there. Kittigan-Zippy in the valley will sit at 9 into your afternoon. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast, and I'll show you where we could see some flurries. So today, tomorrow, very similar conditions. We are expecting cloudier forecast for today, tomorrow, daytime highs of 10, chance of scattered showers both days. Periods of rain for Wednesday throughout the day ahead. We are expecting some rain, but overnight, temperatures dropping below that freezing. There is a possibility of a few scattered flurries in the forecast. Won't stick around or stay on the ground too long because Thursday it's going to be nice and sunny. Very average conditions for this time of year with a high of 8. A little bit cooler as we head into the weekend with those low single digits for your daytime highs.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
And on your roads this morning, no major issues east to west. Traffic is looking decent, and look at that. It's bright out there already this morning. Usually last week the sun didn't wake up till 7:30. Now, of course, it's about an hour earlier, which is kind of nice to see. No major issues east to west.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa.
It's overwhelming and beautiful with all the things to see.
A popular shop with a global marketplace is back. We will explain after the break. Here's a live look through our sky cam. And as Melissa said, there it is. Daylight happening. A little bit of pink and blue and purple in the sky. Loving it. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back.
CTV Ottawa is your home for local news.
Katie Griffin, CTV News in the Byward Market.
Centertown.
Canada.
Stittsville. Bringing you local stories that matter the most to you.
Kimberly Fowler in Westboro.
Orleans. Barhaven.
From every corner of the community.
In the Glebe.
Manotick.
Merrickville.
Brockville. From the team you trust, we are CTV News Ottawa.
Live, local, breaking news. CTV News Ottawa.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
Welcome back. Local Trades Council expresses very serious concerns with Lansdowne 2.0 construction contracts. Voters in Gatineau have re-elected Maude Marquis-Bissonnette as their mayor in a tight race, and all eyes from across Canada will be on the nation's capital as the federal government is set to release its long-anticipated budget tomorrow.
In your forecast, here's what you can expect over the next few days. A little bit cloudy today. We are expecting some scattered showers into the afternoon. Tuesday, Wednesday, daytime highs of 10 degrees. And again, a little wet weather on the way. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time-saver traffic. Starting to see that volume build now. If you are heading eastbound on the 417 Richmond and through Woodruff, it is a little heavy. And if you're looking for a beautiful spot to do some shopping, the One World Bazaar is back. The ever-popular shop is a cultural celebration and global marketplace with a barn full of unique and hard-to-find items. CTV's Camille Wilson reports.
Tony Hahn and Zaina Elhara are on a mission to grab some great finds.
We're renovating our kitchen, so we're just looking for unique things here and there to put on the shelves.
The pair are no strangers to the One World Bazaar, the fall pop-up that lasts only 10 weekends in the city.
We usually come here every year. It's a nice Sunday afternoon sort of date thing to do.
A heritage barn packed with homemade goods, colors, textures from clothing, jewelry, dishes, home decor, and furniture. Operating for 44 years, 22 in Ottawa, the owners believe in the beauty of seeing raw materials come to life in the hands of artisans who have honed their traditional crafts.
We poke around and look at all the beautiful and interesting artisan work from all around the world.
Items flying in from different corners of the globe, like South America, Africa, Asia, and like this piece, Indonesia.
Our business model is overstimulate people when they walk in the door. I think people just want something different, want some uniqueness in their homes, in their wardrobes, for them from a jewelry perspective. And I think we've done a really great job of making it a unique experience.
Balker, her husband, and mom shop the world for you, going to different countries, working directly with the artisans, bringing the goods back to Ottawa. And for first-timers, it can be overwhelming.
First time checking out the market. It's cool to see all the handcrafted goods here.
I was just stopping at this area because I was looking for my grandchildren, and it's so colorful. I thought, what am I going to get for my grandchildren? And I might just find something here because there's lots to find and lots to see, and I think my whole family would like it.
Looks like Tony and Zaina were able to grab something unique to take home.
It's just one of those things that if you live in Ottawa, you got to make sure you do it every fall because it's just a wonderful place.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we asked for your comments on sleep. Our question, how many hours of sleep do you get each night? And here's what you had to say.
We had Grunts who wrote in, says, my sleep is like hibernation now that the cold weather is here. Oh my goodness, 12 to 14 hours for me. As soon as the dinner hour is over, it's straight to bed. A big change from when I could go on 6 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so Grins is telling me that I will get 12 hours of sleep again at one point in my life.
You will, like you said, you used to be able to do that, right?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
like sleep and wake up whenever or sleep in.
Yes.
Now with kids, no way. They are your alarm clock.
They absolutely are. I do get more sleep on weekends because I don't have to be up at 3:45.
Yeah.
So my husband is really sweet as well. I have to give him a little kudos because he lets me sleep in on weekends. So he usually gets up with the kids. So then I can sleep until 7, which is just incredible. I used to sleep until 10, 11.
That is
so
juicy.
I know.
So juicy, right?
So now 7,
That's
I'm like, oh, if I could sleep till 7, this is great.
Yeah, you get like, it feels like a treat.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But our viewer there saying sleeps from 10 to 12 hours. That
14.
must be amazing kind of
Right?
sleep. I would imagine you'd be a little bit on the groggy side, right? After that many hours of sleep, it's like, wait, where am I? How does this all work again? All right, we're going to be hearing from you later in the show. We are asking, how many hours of sleep do you get each night? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, celebrating the Day of the Dead in Mexico. That story and more when we take a look at your morning fix coming up next. Here's the live look from our Skycam on George Street this morning. The sun up at 6:45. The bad news, it'll set at 4:46 this afternoon. Are you tired of being tired? Join us for Sleep Week, where we'll break down the top ways to get your best rest and help you wake up feeling refreshed.
Sleep Week on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Weekdays brought to you in part by Ontario's Sleep Care.
Pure Country 94, Ottawa's country music station. Pure access to the biggest stars and the hottest songs. After all the bars are closed. Download the free iHeartRadio app to listen to Pure Country everywhere.
It is time for your morning fix, and whether it was the World Series, Halloween, or a lack of major debuts, it was reportedly the slowest weekend of the year at the box office.
Any way of surprising you? My mom got pregnant with me when she was 18. She and my dad were high school sweethearts. My Aunt Jenny also ended up with her high school boyfriend, Jonah. I thought we would be one big happy family forever.
Colleen Hoover's Regretting You managed to bring in $8.1 million to claim the #1 spot to beat out Black Phone 2, which was just behind at $8 million US across North America. And last weekend's #1, The Chainsaw Man movie, was third with about $6 million. It followed the slowest October for ticket sales since, get this, 1997.
Wow, that is slow. But there was a lot of going on, like you said, over the weekend. Very, very busy weekend outside of the box office.
Halloween was on a Friday. We had the World Series on Saturday night, and it was like Game 6, Game 7. So, you know, there was a lot going on.
And I tell you what, here in the Byward Market, you could not get off. Like, you couldn't walk the streets. There were so many people. It was packed. People were going to different pubs, and that was Friday, Saturday, even into Sunday.
We came in Saturday night. I'm like, what is this? There's so much traffic. I'm not used to driving in that very often. Well, it was a clean sweep for Kenya at the New York City Marathon Sunday, with Kenyans claiming all the podium places for the men's and women's races.
Wow.
Look at this. Helen O'Beary won the women's race, setting a course record with a time of 2 hours and 19 minutes and 51 seconds. On the men's side, Benson Kipruto survived a late push by Alexandra Mutiso. Look at this, to win gold with a time of 2 hours, 8 minutes and 9 seconds, and with a photo finish revealed that Kipruto won by a fraction of a second. And the 5 Borough Classics, of course, marked the end of the 2025 World Marathon Majors calendar. That was like a photo finish in. Like, they needed the picture to like really see who won.
After running over 26 miles, it comes down to a lean.
Right?
Incredible. Good on them.
And you could see them just neck and neck the entire race. Wild. And in Mexico, families waited for souls of their loved ones to return during the Day of the Dead celebrations. The celebrations start on October 31st and go for 3 days, when families welcome the souls of their dead loved ones with light, candles, incense, and their favorite food and drinks.
That is so colorful and beautiful. We had a taste of it in the Byward Market over the weekend. It was really, really nice.
I love the beautiful colors and the fact that they all come together to celebrate, and we had a little sample of the food on Friday. Absolutely delicious as well.
Okay, coming up in the next hour, we kick off Sleep Week with a chat about making sure you get a great night's sleep courtesy of Ontario Sleep Care. Plus, we check in with 2 Jays fans who attended Game 6 of the World Series Friday night in Toronto, and we get their reaction to the tough Game 7 loss to the Dodgers this weekend. And you've heard of the fear of missing out, but what about the joy of missing out? We hear from a local professor and author about the importance of getting some alone time. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. It is 6:57 on your Monday.
Like that.
It's Monday, November 3rd. A final decision on Lansdowne 2.0 expected at council this week as a local construction group expresses concern over the decision to hire a non-local company to handle the massive overhaul.
We need to be thinking about diversification in terms of exports, but also how we work with other countries.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is getting ready to unveil his first budget this week as local residents wait to hear more about potential public sector cuts.
And we are kicking off Sleep Week, talking about how you can get a good night's sleep and feel your best. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good morning. Happy Monday. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Will is away for today. And I love that we're kicking off sleep week with me. Lack of sleep last night. So I'm going to, study all the tips and tricks that I can possibly find.
Maybe your little ones will just maybe they'll watch this and go, hey, okay, Mom, we'll let you sleep a little bit more.
Oh, that would be
sleep
so lovely.
is so important. If you can get the 8 hours. You wake up, you're like, oh, it's a new day.
It sure is.
But when you don't, it's kind of tough.
Lots of coffee.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to get to today's top stories for you right now. As City Council prepares to make a final decision on Lansdowne 2.0 this week, a local trades council is expressing very serious concerns over the decision to hand the construction contract to a non-local company. The project was awarded to a firm headquartered in Quebec City. In a letter sent to City Council obtained by CTV, Ottawa's Building Trades Union states, "This race to the bottom, lowest bid process undermines our collective efforts to make our local economy stronger, and it builds upon the growing distrust many people feel toward elected officials." City Councilor Riley Brockington says there were 3 bids for the project, but states a good price for taxpayers was top priority.
At the end of the day, we want to support as many local companies as possible, but we also want to make sure that we protect taxpayer dollars. So it's a Canadian company, maybe not local, but that's one thing that, again, we have to balance.
The $419 million project would include 2 residential towers, new Northside stands at TD Place, and a new arena. The final vote will be taken at Council on Friday.
All eyes from across Canada will be on the nation's capital as the federal government is set to release its long-anticipated budget tomorrow.
We need to be thinking about diversification in terms of exports, but also how we work with other countries.
This is the Liberals' first fiscal update in about a year and a half, and it will be Mark Carney's first budget as Prime Minister, and it comes at a critical time with elevated trade tension between Canada and the United States.
We can spend our time watching Truth Social, worrying about the reactions of individual things. We are staying calm, okay? We're focusing on what we can control, which first and foremost is how we build at home. And secondly, with our negotiations with the U.S., when they're on, when they come back on, is what's in the best interests of Canada.
A record deficit is expected, and with the Liberals holding a minority government, they will need the support from another party to pass the budget. The Public Service Alliance of Canada is also warning about the possibility of deep job cuts, including tens of thousands of workers in the federal public service. And CTV News will have special coverage of the Budget 2025, hosted by Chief Anchor and Senior Editor Omar Sachedina and Chief Political Correspondent Vashi Capellos. Coverage starts on Tuesday at 4 p.m. on CTV News Channel and ctvnews.ca.
Voters in Gatineau have re-elected their mayor in a tight race over one of her council colleagues. Maude Marquis-Bissonnette was elected with 51% of the vote, while Mario Obey followed with 47%. Voter turnout was at 41%. Marquis-Bissonnette was first elected in a by-election last year. Her party picked up 11 of a possible 19 council seats. A deadly earthquake has struck in northern Afghanistan. Reports say the 6.3 magnitude quake, which struck near the city of Mazar-i-Sharif, has claimed at least 20 lives. It also damaged the Blue Mosque, one of the country's few tourist sites. The 15th century landmark was famed for its vibrant tiles. Some pieces of the structure were seen scattered across the grounds.
Ontario is taking a more active role in recruiting doctors from Quebec, and it comes as doctors are protesting against Bill 2.
I've never seen so much distress in my colleagues. People are crying, people are stressed out. I'm going to be able to treat my patients, and it's terrible. The system is crumbling.
A special law was introduced and passed on October 24th. The new law changes how doctors are paid, tying compensation and financial penalties to performance targets. Bill 2 also calls for the creation of a system to monitor physicians. The situation caught the attention of Ontario's Premier Doug Ford.
Call 1-800-DOUG-FORD, all the docs, and come by, call me on my cell phone. It's on the internet. We'll have you working real quick.
According to Quebec's colleges of physicians, nearly 200 doctors already have their license to work in Ontario. Another 200 are in the process of getting it.
A warning, traffic headaches around the intersection of Laurier Avenue and Elgin Street are set to start tomorrow. The city will start work to improve cycling and pedestrian safety at that intersection. During construction, there will be lane reductions on 2 roadways. This comes after a 27-year-old woman died after being hit by a pickup truck at that intersection in July. And in 2019, a cyclist died in a hit and run at the same intersection. It is the end of the line for the Canada Golf and Country Club. Club Link has confirmed that the course is now closed for good as its owners move to build a housing development on the property. Club Link had first announced its plans to build 1,500 homes in 2018, but has been in a drawn-out legal fight since then over green space. In September, the Supreme Court dismissed an appeal on the decision from the City of Ottawa.
Toronto Blue Jay fans are returning to work and school this morning with a little lingering sadness.
A new expectation and a new standard here.
They may not have taken home the World Series title, but it's a season many people say they will be proud of forever. Mental health experts say it's normal for fans to be in mourning for a few days because they were so emotionally invested and have built a relationship with the team. That is absolutely true. I mean, you built a relationship, you invested so much time in watching and cheering and hoping. And then when it doesn't happen, it does feel like such a massive letdown. And they tried so hard.
It's just so close.
Yeah.
So close. And I think the hardest part is as fans, there's so many what ifs, like my question, like, why didn't they steal second? Like, that's still my question. Broken bat. Like, there's just so many little heartbreaking elements. The ball that got stuck under the wall, like, and I know fans feel me on that, but it's just, you know, all these little things that have just unfortunately major turning points in the game.
Yeah, it's a game.
It is.
And that's what happens, right? These things happen, ups and downs, and here we are. We can say, here's looking to next year. I know, it's still heartbreaking, but we can look toward
Trust me,
next
I've been
year.
going through this almost every year for the last 6 years.
With the Red Blacks.
As a Red Black
There
fan,
you go.
yeah, a little different, but you know, also same. We do have your weather picture for today, and look at this gorgeous picture that was sent in to us. Absolutely stunning photo. Thank you so much, Larry.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, we want to hear from you. Send your weather pictures to us, and we could see it right here on the show. All you have to do is send an email, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that's weathershots@ctv.ca. And in our forecast for today, a daytime high of 10 degrees this afternoon. So we know the sun was up nice and early. However, it's also going to set early. 4:46 p.m. today is when the sun will set. So that means shorter days in the forecast on the horizon for us, but that's okay. We know the longer days are coming in like 6 months' time. Temperatures right now sitting at 5 degrees. Not a bad looking start to your morning. That's very mild for this time of the year. We're normally hovering around 0, and you can see a little bit cooler in some areas like Cornwall for today. A little bit cloudy out there to start off your morning. In our skies, we're seeing cloudier conditions and then some wet weather on the way. So a chance of scattered showers this morning. That will continue into the afternoon, so we could see some wet weather today. Not a lot of rain, just a few millimeters in the forecast for us. However, some areas you could see white and purple and pink now in our forecast screen. That is snow and freezing rain mixture. So yes, it is coming. It's just a matter of about a couple of weeks before we start to see it here in Ottawa as well. On top of all this rain and not too bad conditions for today, we're expecting some stronger winds today, gusting out of the southwest, 30 up to 50 kilometers an hour. So a very windy day in the forecast for us as well, but temperatures a little bit above the norm, so a little bit above seasonal. 10 degrees for us here in Ottawa, 12 in Cornwall, 11 in Brockville, 12 down along Kingston area. 9 is your daytime high in the valley today, as well as in Kitigan Zibi. So for kids heading to the school bus today, temperatures fluctuating a little bit, sitting at 4 degrees this morning. Between 4 and 5 degrees is where temperatures are sitting. And you could see those scattered showers, so make sure you are prepared for a little bit of wet weather this morning. Over the next couple of days, 10 is the daytime high, so that's a little bit above seasonal over the next few days. Wednesday night, though, we are expecting periods of rain in the afternoon. However, as temperatures do drop to -1 overnight, we could see a few scattered flurries, so we could see it change to a few little snowflakes on the ground on Wednesday. Won't stick around as with Thursday. It will be nice and sunny and warm, and we will see warmer conditions in through Friday. The weekend at this point is looking a little cool.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
We have a collision on the 417 eastbound at Carling and Kirkwood. The center lane is closed. Also on the 417 eastbound, left lane is closed at Walkley from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's starting today until Friday, and that is due to construction. So you can see there a little bit of slowdowns on the 417. So just keep that in mind as you head on out today. Maybe a bit of a slow go in parts there this morning.
And we are kicking off Sleep Week this morning with Ontario Sleep Care. Their slogan is Sleep Easy, Live Better. And Director of Operations and Clinical Sleep Specialist Cody Allen is here to help us do just that. And Cody, you couldn't have come at a better day when I got no sleep last night. So I'm so excited to have you here this morning, selfishly for myself, but of course everybody else as well. Tell us a little bit about Ontario Sleep Care.
Yeah, I get the whole sleep thing.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Being a Blue Jays fan, it's been a long month. So glad to get back to sleeping on a regular schedule. So Ontario Sleep Care is a sleep apnea treatment center.
Okay.
We look after patients that have been diagnosed with sleep apnea. We also have a lot of patients that come in and ask questions and try to help navigate how to get a better sleep. So we do that pretty much all day long with people coming into the clinic. So that's it's a very busy industry because so many people are looking for better sleep.
Absolutely. I think it's really common that we all want a better sleep. Let's talk a little bit about sleep apnea, some signs, some symptoms of that.
Yeah, I think the most important, or the most common thing is snoring. So when people start snoring, it's kind of a red flag. The other thing is just waking up tired all the time or needing naps throughout the day. I know it's hard when you have young kids. Those naps are a different issue. But if you're constantly tired and not able to work throughout your day without having 10 cups of coffee and not making it to dinner time, that's a red flag where you should kind of consult with your family physician to see if you should get a sleep test done to see if there is actually an issue there.
All right, well, let's talk about some treatment for someone who's potentially has sleep apnea. What are some treatment options?
Well, the gold standard still to this day is CPAP machines.
Okay.
I know a lot of people try to avoid using those because it's not fun, and the joke is Darth Vader, when you're going to sleep. But they've made a lot of changes over the years. I've been doing this for about 15 years. They used to look like, little generators. Now they look like, cell phones or little laptops or iPads. So they're very small, very quiet. The masks are very small, very quiet. So it's gotten a lot easier for people to wrap their heads around wearing a mask on their face at night. And the age group, it varies. It can vary from 30, 40 up to 60, 70.
Okay.
So they've really tried to shift how things are going to be used for the younger demographic. So that it's somewhat cool to sleep with that on that.
It's a little more sleek than it used to be, I guess. I like that.
Yeah. So we don't see as much as that anymore. I think a lot of people have the time to do their research and realize that, yes, it's not fun to wear a mask at night, but it does improve your sleep substantially to the point where you don't care to wear a mask if you feel like $1 million the next day.
Absolutely. If you're getting good quality sleep, I think you're pretty much willing to do anything at this point. Let's talk about the support that you offer as well.
Yeah, so we support patients from the day that they walk in to the time they go see their family physician, or sorry, their sleep specialist. And then after that, we provide care for the next 5 years to support them, so we can monitor you remotely and make changes to your device remotely so you don't have to come in. And then if there's new technology that comes out, we allow you to come in and try things out before you buy, like kind of like a demo or like a test drive. If you
try before you buy.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly. So it makes a big difference because finding the right mask is very difficult, and we allow you to try a variety of masks to see which one works best for you and your sleep, because not one mask fits all or works for everybody. So
and it's very different just standing there with it on your face as opposed to
100%.
Trying to get some shut eye with your pillow.
And the noise for your partner.
Absolutely.
All these things. So there's so many little pieces that come with it. It's not just plug your machine in and off the bed you go. There's a lot of little nuances that us as specialists will be able to guide you
Amazing.
through your sleep journey.
Well, thank you so much, Cody, for joining us today.
Thank
and
you.
again, you can head to OntarioSleepCare.ca for more information. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Rosie.
Coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, we kick off Movember with a focus on men's mental health. Shane Wicks and Darren Fleming share their personal stories with us. Our guests are standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. So much more coming up. It is 7:16. Good morning, Ottawa. The Dare to Be Vulnerable project, focusing on mental health for men, is happening on November 6th. And it's part of the Courageous Conversations with Men session. And it's a real sit-down, open, honest conversation with men. And we've got Darren Fleming and Shane Wicks here. They're men in the community, in the businessmen in the Ottawa community, and they're going to be taking part in the event here. And it's a very important event because it opens up conversation about mental health, focusing particularly on men's mental health. Good morning to you both.
Morning.
Thank you so much for coming on here. Can you give me a little bit more details? Like, can anybody take come in and experience the event?
Absolutely. So we're holding it at 70 Bongard at the Collab space.
Okay.
Tickets are free. You can get it on Eventbrite. Just look up Dare to Be Vulnerable, and you'll see Movember,
Yes.
November 6th, and
Yeah.
it starts at 5:30, 6 p.m. till 8 p.m.
Okay. Movember, for the longest while, was about men's health.
Correct.
Right? You know, we're talking about, I believe it was prostate cancer and take care of your health. Didn't talk too much about the mental health part, which is so important. But now here we are going to talk about that. So Shane, can you talk about how you're going to be participating, what you're going to be doing there?
So yeah, so I'm one of the champions, basically. So I'm one of the keynote speakers there, and just talking about my experience, what I've gone through with business, relationships, and how I have built a community with men's mental health in mind. And I've partnered up with Susan, and I really support her. I've been volunteering with her for a few months now to help support her and just get the information out.
And Susan is the creator of
Susan Blaine.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Courageous Conversations, and now Creative Conversations with Men, which I love.
absolutely.
And it'll feature maybe even teachers or women or what have you. And this time around, November 6th, it's men. And let's talk about how you're going to be participating and how easy is it for you to talk about your mental health?
Yeah, so I'm one of the other champions. I've only got to know Susan in the context of this movement recently. I went to one of the events, as someone who got a ticket and went. And I was amazed to see how impactful it was. I think as men, we're taught to be these tough, rigid exteriors, warriors even, and if we don't talk about it, then so many people, when they're struggling, often feel alone. And it's so, I don't care what issue you're having. If you talk about it in a small group, it's amazing how half the other circle have some kind of thing. And then all of a sudden the conversation starts. So I'm there to start a conversation.
You probably notice when you do talk, whether it's in a small circle of people or a large group of people, do you get a lot of nods going,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get that.
Absolutely.
I experienced that.
And I think that vulnerability is a learned skill. Right? It's super scary the first couple of times, but like any muscle that you haven't exercised for a while, maybe you can't lift that much weight, and maybe it's a little painful afterwards, but it gets easier.
Yeah, so true. November 6th, this is going to be a really enlightening event for men just to open up about their mental health. It's that conversation that gets things started. I've got to thank you, Darren Fleming and Shane Wicks, for coming by, and all the best on November 6th. I know it's just going to open things up and really help a lot of men there with that conversation about men's mental health. Thank you both so much.
Glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Melissa.
Well, it was not the ending Jays fans hoped for in the World Series. The Los Angeles Dodgers defeating Toronto in extra innings on Saturday night to win the series that went all the way to 7 games. So today we are checking in with some local Jays fans who were lucky enough to get into Game 6 on Friday night at the Rogers Center. Joining us now, we have David and Cindy Price. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Melissa.
I see you're wearing your Jays gear loud and proud today. Tell us your thoughts on, the unfortunate ending to the series.
Yeah, it wasn't what we were looking for. For us, it was, that sort of bucket list thing, and we had to pick between Game 6 and Game 7, and we picked, unfortunately, Game 6, and it wasn't what we were hoping for, unfortunately.
But how are you feeling after you've had a few days to kind of, take in the sadness? Are you still kind of thankful for all we've got to experience this season with the Jays?
Yeah, it was great. It was an awesome season, and especially as it got closer to the end and we knew that we were going to go to the playoffs, it got very exciting. It was to be really surreal to be at the game. Obviously not what the outcome we were hoping for, but it was fantastic to be there.
October baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we wanted.
We've waited a long time to get to, a World Series. Cindy, what was the feeling and the atmosphere like in Game 6 in Toronto?
It is so electric inside the Rogers Centre. It's loud, it's proud, it's everybody together experiencing the same thing. And it's, like Dave said, a bucket list thing that we always wanted to do. We've been to many, many, many Jays games, and by far that was the loudest one.
Oh, I bet. And where did you get to watch Game 7?
We were at home with one of our sons here in the living room, and we hung on right to the end. I mean, it was an amazing ending. Unfortunately, not our way. We sort of just sat on the couch afterwards. I'm sure like millions of other Canadians for a few minutes. Yeah, speechless that we couldn't believe we saw, how it turned out. But, next year, we're rooting for next year already.
Yeah, can't wait for the spring.
And are you hopeful that you think the team can make it all the way next year?
Yeah, so I hear most of the teams coming back, and fingers crossed, I think we'll be there again next year.
They work hard. We can tell, like, they want it as bad as, well, all the fans do. And
definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think was it about this team that made it so special? Because they really had Canada coming together from coast to coast to coast. Like, everywhere you went in Canada, you felt Jays pride alive and well.
Yeah, I think they had great camaraderie. I think that they really bonded throughout the season. I think really from spring training. And I think they kind of felt like maybe they didn't feel like underdogs, but I think a lot of media, especially down in the U.S., talked about them maybe being the underdog. And, I think that kind of, focused them and put the energy that they pushed forward. So I think that was helpful for them.
It's Canada's team. It's our one team that we're all behind. It's not a provincial thing. It's a Canadian thing.
Amazing. Well, thank you both so much for joining us today. And
thank you.
Have some fun next year going to those Jays game, and hopefully we'll be back here next year, but celebrating a Game 7.
Definitely.
Go Jays.
Thank you.
Go Jays. Here's a live look through our sky cam on George Street this morning. You can see the sun is up. It is 5 degrees, so not too cold to start off your morning. 10 degrees is the high this afternoon.
Monday, I'm Rosie Edbeck.
And I'm Melissa Lamb, and not a bad start to our morning. Of course, we're getting some sleep care tips and a few more tips about budgeting coming up as well.
So true. And somebody who might be getting a little bit more sleep today, Will Aiello.
Yes.
He's away today. He'll be back tomorrow. But yeah, loving all those sleep tips, especially since we moved the clocks back, gained an hour. I feel good about it, but I know you didn't get a chance to take advantage of it, unfortunately.
I didn't. I mean, maybe I did, and I just feel exhausted because we were up last night. But, maybe tonight's the night I'll get some sleep.
All right, we'll see about that. All right, first off, we're going to get to today's top stories. As City Council prepares to make a final decision on Lansdowne 2.0 this week, a local trades council is expressing very serious concerns over the decision to hand the construction contract to a non-local company. The project was awarded to a firm headquartered in Quebec City. In a letter sent to City Council obtained by CTV, Ottawa's Building Trades Union states, "This race to the bottom, lowest bid process undermines our collective efforts to make our local economy stronger and it builds upon the growing distrust many people feel toward elected officials. City Councilor Riley Brockington says there were 3 bids for the project, but states a good price for taxpayers was top priority.
At the end of the day, we want to support as many local companies as possible, but we also want to make sure that we protect taxpayer dollars. So it's a Canadian company, maybe not local, but that's one thing that, again, we have to balance.
The $419 million project would include 2 residential towers, new north side stands at TD Place, and a new arena. The final vote will be taken at Council on Friday.
Prime Minister Mark Carney's minority government will table its first budget tomorrow, and Canadians appear to be divided on what should be top priority.
For average Canadians, what they want to see is no cuts to healthcare at this particular point in time, but they're going to want to see investments in the long term.
According to a new survey conducted by CTV News Nanos Research, Canadians are split on whether Prime Minister Carney should invest big or cut back on spending. The results show more Canadians are willing to accept a higher level of spending if it means investing in programs for Canadians. Support for the idea is up to 47%, but it remains pretty much tied with people hoping for a balanced budget that cuts taxes. The Liberals don't have the votes to, if the Liberals don't have the votes to pass the budget on their own, it is still not clear which party could help them pass it. And CTV News will have special coverage of Budget 2025 hosted by Chief Anchor and Senior Editor Omar Sachedina and Chief Political Correspondent Vashi Capellos. Coverage starts on Tuesday at 4 p.m. on CTV News Channel and ctvnews.ca.
Voters in Gatineau have re-elected their mayor in a tight race over one of her council colleagues. Maude Marquis-Bissonnette was elected with 51% of the vote, while Mario Obey followed with 47%. Voter turnout was at 41%. Marquis-Bissonnette was first elected in a by-election last year. Her party picked up 11 of a possible 19 council seats.
Ontario is taking a more active role in recruiting doctors from Quebec. It comes as doctors are protesting against Bill 2.
I've never seen so much distress in my colleagues. People are crying, people are stressed out. I'm going to be able to treat my patients, and it's terrible. The system is crumbling.
The special law was introduced and passed on October 24th. The new law changes how doctors are paid, tying compensation and financial penalties to performance targets. Bill 2 also calls for the creation of a system to monitor physicians. The situation caught the attention of Ontario's Premier Doug Ford.
Call 1-800-DOUG-FORD, all the docs, and come by, call me on my cell phone. It's on the internet. We'll have you working real quick.
According to the Quebec's Colleges of Physicians, nearly 200 doctors already have their license to work in Ontario. Another 200 are in the process of getting it.
A warning, traffic headaches around the intersection of Laurier Avenue and Elgin Street are set to start tomorrow. The city will start to work to improve cycling and pedestrian safety at that intersection. During construction, there will be lane reductions on 2 roadways. This comes after a 27-year-old woman died after being hit by a pickup truck at that intersection in July. And in 2019, a cyclist died in a hit and run at the same intersection. It is the end of the line for the Canada Golf and Country Club. Club Link has confirmed that the course is now closed for good as its owners move to build a housing development on the property. Club Link had first announced its plans to build 1,500 homes in 2018, but has been in a drawn-out legal fight since then over green space. In September, the Supreme Court dismissed an appeal on the decision from the City of Ottawa. The world's largest cargo sailboat has completed its maiden transatlantic voyage.
This is despite some damage to some of its sails that happened during the crossing, forcing the crew to partially rely on its motor and the remaining sail intact.
It started in Saint-Nazaire, France, and made its final stop in Baltimore. Researchers say wind propulsion systems have the potential to cut emissions by more than 50% on new vessels optimized for wind conditions. That's beautiful looking vessel. Look at that, it's gorgeous.
Massive as well, right?
And it looks like the weather was cooperating for them. Nice wind, gorgeous sunshine, and you're mentioning we're gonna get quite a bit of wind today.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a very windy afternoon. Temperatures will be warm, at least we have that, because it might be a little bit wet later on this afternoon as well. So right now, sitting at 5 degrees, we're seeing some south winds around 20 kilometers an hour, but it will be a little gustier into your day ahead. Pembroke not registering, but I could tell you right now they're sitting at 1 degree out in the valley. 11 already for Kingston, Trenton, 6 in Montreal, slightly cooler in the Seaway, sitting at -1. So here's a look at some of that cloud coverage moving through. Again, a little bit of a cloudy day. And then we can see some wet weather. So this is into your afternoon. There is a chance of scattered showers this morning in through your day ahead, but you could see some areas already starting to see some flurries and, of course, some freezing rain in there as well. So here are your wind speeds. That yellow, that green, those are those really strong, intense winds gusts. So we are expecting southwest winds gusting 30 up to 50 kilometers an hour late this morning into your afternoon. So at a windier recess for us, but at least temperatures fairly mild. We'll reach daytime highs of 10 degrees later on this afternoon, and we could see those spotty scattered showers. Over the next 7 days, we will see a little mixture of everything on the way for us, a little mixture of warmer weather, and of course, it's a little bit wet. Monday in through Wednesday, 10 degrees as the daytime highs. Wednesday overnight, we could see some flurries, but then the sun is back on Thursday. The collision on the 417 eastbound at Carling and Kirkwood has been clear, but still showing slowdowns in that area. Also, the 417 eastbound left lane is closed at Walkley from 7 till 5 to starting today until Friday due to construction.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
You've heard of FOMO, the fear of missing out, but have you heard of JOMO, the joy of missing out? Well, we've got Robert Copeland here. He has written a book, The Joy of Solitude, How to Reconnect with Yourself in an Over-Connected World. Good morning to you, Robert. We need to talk.
Good morning.
Good morning. We definitely need to talk. What gave you the idea? What gave you the impetus to write this book, The Joy of Solitude?
Well, we pay so much attention to loneliness, right? Which is this feeling that we get when we don't socially connect enough, when we're not, don't have people in our lives the way that we want them to. And it's really important to pay attention to loneliness because it's damaging for our mental health and our well-being and even our physical health. But humans also need solitude. And so there's been so much attention kind of on the negative sides of solitude for good reason, but I also think we should pay attention to some of the positive sides.
Okay, so when you talk about JOMO, the joy of missing out, what are we missing out on here that you're talking about?
Yeah, well, when we're around other people, there's so much input, so much stresses, right? We're paying attention to what we're saying, our posture, our facial expression, what everyone else is saying, their facial expression. So for me, when we are by ourselves, it's kind of like stepping off of that stage, and it gives you a chance to just big exhale, catch your breath, restore, relax, and there can be joy in missing out on all of that input.
Yeah, and is there joy in being with yourself? Let's say maybe even in a setting where, I don't know, let's say a cafe, and you just say, I'm going to be with myself in a cafe. How do you do that and not feel lonely?
Yeah, so for some people, you need to be really kind of physically separated from others in order to feel like you're alone. But you're right, for a lot of people, sitting in a cafe, you've got your headset on, you're listening to some music, you're reading something, and that's their chance of disconnecting, and that's their chance to kind of reconnect with themselves. And actually, when we spend a good quality time alone, it actually makes our subsequent interactions with others more positive.
See, isn't that something?
So solitude can help our relationships with other people.
Okay, what about the holiday season and being with enjoying the solitude of being with yourself? Maybe not for the whole holiday season, but at times.
Yeah, for me, it's all about balance, right? So each person has to find that right balance between spending some time alone, some me time, and spending some time with cherished others. And the specific combination of alone time and socializing is actually different for everyone. So everyone has to figure out their just right amount, just like Goldilocks, right?
Yes,
not too warm, not too cold, but just right. The just right balance between some time for yourself and some time with others.
What are some of the unique challenges of finding that alone time, that solitude time in the world where we're all just hyper connected? You're standing in a line and I've got my phone, let me just get into that, right?
Yeah. I think there's some myths about solitude. One myth is that you have to take a 2-hour walk in the woods in order to get those benefits. It's not true. In fact, research would suggest that even 15 minutes a day can make a noticeable effect. And I think there's also this idea that we need to fold up our legs, sit on a yoga mat, and meditate to get the benefits. But that's not true either, although meditation is awesome and it has a lot of benefits for us. Just find an activity activity that works for you, that you enjoy, that you find meaningful, that you find engaging, and you can still reap a lot of these benefits.
Robert, what has been some of the benefits for you? We don't have much time, but finding solitude.
Just a chance to restore, a chance to think about things that you don't normally allow yourself the chance to think about, and it just brings balance to your life.
Brings balance. Oh, it's been such a pleasure talking to you, Robert Copeland. The Joy of Solitude. You can get this book wherever.
Everywhere, on your local bookstore shelf, Amazon, everywhere.
On your local bookstore shelves. This is great. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
you for writing this. We really need this. The Joy of Solitude. Loving it here. Robert Copeland. Going to send it on over to you, Melissa.
Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, how can you manage your personal debt? We get some guidance on what to do if you're finding yourself struggling to deal with debt. We'll have that conversation just ahead. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam this morning. Still a bit of a gray start to your day. Temps warm, sitting at 5 degrees. Managing personal debt effectively is crucial for achieving financial stability and long-term goals. So joining us today to tell us what the 5 major rules to manage your personal debt is Mark Rouleau from Doyle Saluski. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, and it's important that we kind of tackle this debt because we're heading into our spendy season, I like to call it. So let's not get out of control. Let's get better before we get worse.
Exactly. So hopefully this will help people. It's kind of like a wake up. And when you're watching this segment, it's funny because I know you have a lot of regular watchers and they're going to say, well, how come Mark repeats himself a lot? Well, you'll see these strategies, the reason they're important and I repeat them a lot is because they work.
Okay.
So if you take the time and go through them and actually implement them into your habits, you'll see the results.
Okay, so the first one you say for us is create a budget. Seems simple, but it's effective.
The roadmap, right? So, and you'll see the other points kind of blend into this. So the whole point about a budget is giving yourself a chance to meet that goal. You can't get there if you don't know where you're going. And the whole point about getting a budget in there is if it's overflowing, you're having this challenge every month and you're not doing it because it's a negative. Change the negative to a positive. Get the budget helping you. Use it as a tool to help you go from A to B, as opposed to intimidating and numbers. I don't like numbers. There's easy ways to do it. You can do the pencil and paper. You can do the spreadsheet. You can use an app online, whatever you're comfortable with, right? So find a tool that you'll actually use.
Okay, great advice for us this morning. You also say rank debt based on interest rate.
So what do I mean here? So you're paying interest on any debt you might have, right? So you're starting with your loans, which you might be paying 8 or 9%. You have a credit card. A credit card's kind of a key one. I want to give an example there. So if you have a credit card, say it's got 19% interest on it. A lot of people don't know this. If you miss a payment, the interest rate goes up automatically. And it goes up from 19 to maybe 23 or 24. So what I mean by this is always have an eye on what you're paying in interest. Why? It comes out of your pocket. So the less interest you pay. So if you rank your debt based on interest, pay the highest interest ones first.
So pay off the credit cards before the student loans.
Right. Payday loans are incredibly expensive, right? So pay those first, pay the highest credit card and come down the list, and you're saving yourself money. So paying it off faster, paying the high debt interest first is good.
All right. Next point you said, build an emergency fund.
Yeah, and this is rolling back into the budget, right? So if you're spending more than you make, this is impossible, right? If you're spending less than you make, that 90% rule, if you try to cap your spending at 90% of what you make, that 10% is for this. What's an emergency fund? Car repairs is the most common one, right? You need tires, it's fall, you're changing them there, that might be $1,000. You might need a car repair, or a dishwasher goes and you might need to put $400 or $500 bucks. Whatever it is, right? This emergency fund is really peace of mind. It's an insurance policy. It's nice to have those dollars in the bank if you have these emergencies coming up, as opposed to relying on credit for it.
Okay, great advice. You say negotiate and consolidate debt.
Talking to your creditors is important. What I mean here is a lot of people don't understand or know that they can actually say, hey, listen, I can't make my payment this month. I should just not make it, not make the payment. Well, if you owe $400 on a credit card, let's say, and you can only afford $300, pay that $300. At least it helps something, right? And I go back into that highest interest rate credit cards. I'm not saying don't pay some of the credit cards. You have to pay the minimum payment on each one. Because if you don't make the minimum payment, your credit rating gets affected. So negotiate, consolidate means if you can't pay it all, find help. One of the things we do at our office is this consolidation. We're not lenders. We can help you squeeze the debt, make an arrangement that helps you get to that month end without overflowing the budget. So this is really important. And if you have a hard time talking to your creditors because it's an intimidating topic, it's okay, get help. There's people out there that can help you.
Perfect. And the last point you say is continuous financial education and monitoring.
And the biggest piece of advice I can give here is know who you're talking to. There's so much online. We know this, right? And you don't have to go very far. You guys talk about it on the news all the time here. There's scams out there.
Yeah.
If people are lending money to you and they're asking you for a $300 or $400 fee up front, that's a flag. If they're not registered as a lender, that's a flag. So be very wary, be very careful online. You don't have to be, anxious about it, but just be skeptical. Know who you're dealing with. Don't go and borrow money because you're in a pinch. Know and sit down with your partner and talk about where you're going. Make sure it makes sense for your situation and keep educated and go to the right place to get that education. Just don't go anywhere.
Okay.
People who have the experience, who are accountants, lawyers, or lenders that have credentials, those are the ones you want to rely on.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for helping us out today. Coping with debt, of course, before we head into spending season, as I like to call it. Here's a live look to our sky cam this morning. Still a bit of a gray day. Temps right now sitting at 6 degrees, warming up to a high of 10 this afternoon. Here are your milestone celebrations. We're starting off with some on Sunday, November 2nd. Yesterday, we have a happy 12th birthday to Isla. We love you from Mommy, Daddy G, Papa Bear, Mamere, Papa Kitty, Bodie, and all of your cousins and aunts and uncles. We have some celebrations for today. We're starting off with a happy 9th birthday to Braden. Love from Daddy, Peyton, Maverick, Haley, Austin, William, Grandma, and Grandpa. A happy 3rd birthday to Louie. Lots of love from Ye and Ta. And of course, if you have a milestone, celebrate it with us. We love please send your birthday announcements for us. This is for kids turning 13 years old or younger. Of course, we also do birthdays for those who are 100 years or more and wedding anniversaries for those celebrating 50 years or more. All you have to do is send us an email, your morning Ottawa milestones at ctv.ca, and we'll make sure to get your announcement on the air. Here's a live look to our skycam this morning, and still a bit of a gray start to your day. We're waiting for some scattered showers with a high of 10 degrees this afternoon. Windy conditions as well. It is 7:55.
It's Monday, November 3rd. A final decision on Lansdowne 2.0 expected at council this week as a local construction group expresses concern over the decision to hire a non-local company to handle the massive overhaul.
We need to be thinking about diversification in terms of exports, but also how we work with other countries.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is getting ready to unveil his first budget this week as local residents want to wait and hear more about potential public sector cuts.
And it's already Christmas market season. We get a preview of one taking place this weekend. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now. Good Monday morning. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Will is away for today. And it's true, Christmas season is here. It's like Halloween is done, and literally Saturday I saw pumpkins being exchanged for wreaths.
Yes.
And Santa Claus and gifts and all things that celebrate Christmas. So just like that,
yeah,
a new holiday season is here.
I'm here for it. I don't mind that quick turnover. It's like, okay, we're done. Let's move on. And I do love this time of year, right?
Me too.
I do.
It's so magical. And this is like the best time of the year for us on the show too, because we get so many gift ideas very early on in the season.
That's true. And we get that extra hour of sleep. I know you didn't get to take advantage of it, but the clocks moved back yesterday at 2 a.m. So here we are, bright and new on your Monday, and looking forward to a new holiday season. But first, we're going to get to today's top stories. As City Council prepares to make a final decision on Lansdowne 2.0 this week, a local trades council is expressing very serious concerns over the decision to handle the construction contract to a non-local company. The project was awarded to a firm headquartered in Quebec City. In a letter sent to City Council obtained by CTV, Ottawa's building trades union states, "This race to the bottom, lowest bid process undermines our collective efforts to make our local economy stronger, and it builds upon the growing distrust many people feel toward elected officials." City Councillor Riley Brockington says there were 3 bids for the project, but states a good price for taxpayers was top priority.
At the end of the day, we want to support as many local companies as possible, but we also want to make sure that we protect taxpayer dollars. So it's a Canadian company, maybe not local, but that's one thing that, again, we have to balance.
The $419 million project would include 2 residential towers, new Northside stands at TD Place, and a new arena. The final vote will be taken at Council on Friday.
All eyes from across Canada will be on the nation's capital as the federal government is set to release its long-anticipated budget tomorrow.
We need to be thinking about diversification in terms of exports, but also how we work with other countries.
This is the Liberals' first fiscal update in about a year and a half, and it will be Mark Carney's first budget as Prime Minister, and it comes at a critical time with elevated trade tension between Canada and the United States.
We can spend our time watching Truth Social, worrying about the reactions of individual things. We are staying calm, okay? We're focusing on what we can control, which first and foremost is how we build at home. And secondly, with our negotiations with the U.S., when they're on, when they come back on, is what's in the best interests of Canada.
A record deficit is expected, and with the Liberals holding a minority government, they will need the support from another party to pass the budget. The Public Service Alliance of Canada is also warning about the possibility of deep job cuts, including tens of thousands of workers in the federal public service. And CTV News will have special coverage of the Budget 2025, hosted by Chief Anchor and Senior Editor Omar Sachedina and Chief Political Correspondent Vashi Capellos. Coverage starts on Tuesday at 4 p.m. on CTV News Channel and ctvnews.ca.
Voters in Gatineau have re-elected their mayor in a tight race over one of her council colleagues. Maude Marquis-Bissonnette was elected with 51% of the vote, while Mario Obey followed with 47%. Voter turnout was at 41%. Marquis-Bissonnette was first elected in a by-election last year. Her party picked up 11 of a possible 19 council seats. A deadly earthquake has struck in northern Afghanistan. Reports say the 6.3 magnitude quake, which struck near the city of Mazar-e Sharif, has claimed at least 20 lives. It also damaged the Blue Mosque, one of the country's few tourist sites. The 15th century landmark was famed for its vibrant tiles. Some pieces of the structure were seen scattered across the grounds.
Ontario is taking a more active role in recruiting doctors from Quebec. It comes as doctors are protesting against Bill 2.
I've never seen so much distress in my colleagues. People are crying, people are stressed out. I'm going to be able to treat my patients, and it's terrible. The system is crumbling.
The special law was introduced and passed on October 24th. The new law changes how doctors are paid, tying compensation and financial penalties to performance targets. Bill 2 also calls for the creation of a system to monitor physicians. The situation caught the attention of Ontario's Premier Doug Ford.
Call 1-800-DOUG-FORD, all the docs, and come by, call me on my cell phone. It's on the internet. We'll have you working real quick.
According to Quebec's College of Physicians, nearly 200 doctors already have their license to work in Ontario. Another 200 are in the process of getting it.
A warning, traffic headaches around the intersection of Laurier Avenue and Elgin Street are set to start tomorrow. The city will start to work to improve cycling and pedestrian safety at that intersection. During construction, there will be lane reductions on 2 roadways. This comes after a 27-year-old woman died after being hit by a pickup truck at that intersection in July. And in 2019, a cyclist died in a hit and run at the same intersection. It is the end of the line for the Canada Golf and Country Club. Club Link has confirmed that the course is now closed for good as its owners move to build a housing development on the property. Club Link had first announced its plans to build 1,500 homes in 2018, but has been in a drawn-out legal fight since then over green space. In September, the Supreme Court dismissed an appeal on the decision from the City of Ottawa. The Ottawa 67s have won their third straight game.
Slides for Kingwell, drags more room, opening up, and he scores!
There you go. The Barber Poles were on the road against the Oshawa Generals. The final score was 3-0. The team continues their road trip this week, playing the Brantford Bulldogs on Sunday.
Great to see they've returned to their winning ways. It's
3 in a
amazing.
row. Not a bad winning streak at all. And Melissa, we had a couple of dry days after a very wet Halloween, so I'm wondering if your streak is going to continue here or if we're looking at rain.
We're looking at more rain.
Oh,
the
well.
good news is we'll see warmer conditions today, as we did see a couple of cool days into the weekend forecast. So right now we are sitting at 5 still here in the city, already 6 in Montreal. Cornwall earlier was sitting at -1, but they have warmed up a little bit. They're not registering currently this hour. 7 degrees out in the valley. So skies right now, it's cloudy. You could see all that gray coverage, the cloud coverage in our area on our forecast screen, and of course some green, which means scattered showers today. We are expecting some wet weather this morning into your afternoon. Some areas seeing snow, so it could be worse. I guess the wet weather will be welcomed over the snow. Also strong winds. You could see that yellow and that green on our screen. Those are some intense winds gusting out of the southwest, 30 up to 50 kilometers an hour. So on top of some wet weather, we are expecting some windier conditions in through the day ahead as well. Over the next couple of days, a little bit above seasonal for Monday and through Wednesday in terms of temperatures with highs of 10 degrees. And we are expecting a bit of wet weather to kick off your work week. That will continue in through Wednesday. Overnight Wednesday, we could see the rain change to flurries as temperatures drop below that freezing mark. Thursday, the sunshine is out, but temperatures average for this time of the year with a high of 8 degrees. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time saver traffic. Just seeing heavy volume right now on the Queensway. The good news is no more collisions to report, so traffic is actually just looking heavy, and slowdowns just past the split in through downtown. If you're heading eastbound Richmond in through the downtown core is slow.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, it's already Christmas market season. We'll give you a preview of one market taking place this weekend. That's coming up. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Melissa calling for a few showers into the afternoon. It is 8:08. We'll be right back.
Well, it's Christmas market season, and we got a preview of a great one coming to the Nepean Sportsplex this week. The Christmas Craft Market is happening from Thursday right through till Sunday. And of course, we have a preview with 3 great local vendors that you will find at the market. And we are going to start with Laura from the Cupcake Lounge. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Bringing some beautiful Christmas scents to the studio this morning. It just smells like Christmas with you being here. It's so good.
Amazing.
So are you one of those people who turn the page, like from the 31st, the 1st is Christmas?
Yeah, if I had the choice, it would just be Christmas.
Oh.
But the bakery has to do some sort of Halloween.
Right.
But yes, absolutely. We've been in Christmas mode prep for weeks.
Okay. So tell us about some of the little fixings you'll have at the Christmas market.
Absolutely. So we are the Cupcake Lounge.
Yes.
So of course we have to have our signature cupcakes.
And they are
so we've got,
good.
Thank you. An assortment of flavors that we'll have. But a lot of people don't know we actually do a plethora of other stuff as well.
Okay.
Our sugar cookies, they're all custom made by one of our in-house decorators. She is stunning. So this year our newest addition is the red truck haul on the Christmas tree.
That is so cute. What a classic, like, you know, Christmas picture.
Yeah, very National Lampoon.
Yes,
and then we've got
absolutely.
our little hot chocolate cones. These are our biggest sellers, perfect for teacher gifts, stocking stuffers. The house sits right on the side of your mug. You have all your hot chocolate fixins.
I'm like, is this new? Because this is adorable and I've never seen that
Yes,
before.
they are also handmade 6 pieces. Our decorator puts them all together. And then we also just have some of our favorites in stores. So our shortbreads, we've got some of our gingerbread men. We make our own chocolate bars. kind of everything you could want for the perfect lead up to holidays.
And it smells delicious. What are some of the cupcake flavors you have for Christmas?
Yeah, so we've got a chocolate peppermint. We're gonna have an eggnog spiced, and then we do a gingerbread with a cream cheese icing as just 3 of our holiday ones. But then we also have everything all year round.
Oh my goodness, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, making our studio smell like Christmas. Since it looks like Christmas. Shelley is here as well from Shelley McDonald Jewelry. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Tell us about your beautiful jewelry, because you make everything yourself.
I do, yeah. So it's all sterling silver.
Okay.
It has no nickel, which is very important for people with allergies.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep. So what I'll be bringing to the market is I have my birth flower collection. So it's a necklace for every month.
Beautiful.
So it depends on what month. They're not in order.
Okay. Which one is September?
This one here is September.
Okay, so stunning, because usually, people do horoscopes, but this is a flower?
So so each month has a flower, and they make great gifts for Christmas or birthdays.
Oh my goodness, beautiful. I love that. Okay, and tell us about some of your other collections.
A lot of my pieces, I have botanical pieces and a lot of northern inspired pieces. And also I have rings, and very important, I have rings from sizes 3 to 12, which not a lot of people do. So I have a ring that can fit anybody.
Look at this.
Lots of different styles.
I love that bubble look.
Yep, and I have lots of different hoops also.
Okay.
Different closures, which is important because, everyone has their preferences. For some people like to sleep in them, wear them all day to work.
This is a very trendy piece right now, right? The teardrop look, I know.
Yes.
Beautiful. And I saw one other one that really stood out to me.
Bow ties, yep, very popular right now.
Adorable. Look at those for the holiday season. Adorable. And where can people find you if they can't make the market?
So right now on my Instagram, unfortunately my website is down right now.
Okay.
So yeah, Instagram is the best place to find me, and then at the markets.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. And I'll also be teaching at the Novakeen Sportsplex too.
Oh, so you teach people?
Yeah. So I took a break for COVID, but I'm going to be teaching at the Sportsplex in the spring.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, so follow me and I'll be posting on there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Shelley, for joining us today. And last but not least, we have Jonathan here from Distinctive Woodworking. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having us on today.
So wonderful to have you too. And I can smell the beautiful, delicious wood.
Indeed.
It has a nice smell to it too.
It really does. I mean, part of the fun thing about with the woodworking that I do is I work with various woods. So for example, I have maple here, I have walnut here. That walnut bowl pair is actually kind of special. A friend of mine does tree removal down in the Kempville area. And he gets a contract, remove tree for firewood. Rolls up to the house, tries to explain to the homeowner that walnut is not firewood, and then calls me up and goes, so how much of the tree do you want? And I go, all of it, to which he responds, well, your wife will kill you. And I go, it's probably going to be a noble death.
Yeah,
right?
Oh my
so
goodness.
I've been creating gorgeous furniture and beautiful bowls and beautiful spice mills, all from this tree. It's sort of the tree that just keeps on giving.
That's beautiful, and this is such a work of art, and what a great gift idea for the holiday
absolutely.
season
And
as
it's very food safe. For example, the platter here would look magnificent with some cupcakes.
Yes.
And you could put a pair of earrings on while you're serving the cupcakes.
Perfect, and you have the perfect gift for her for this holiday season. I love that.
And my son is autistic, so there's always the challenge of helping a special needs child learn. So over the years that I've been woodworking, I've been helping my son develop the woodworking skills to help create all of these. And one of the things we're doing as part of the market season, a couple of years ago, Caitlin from here did a fantastic news report on our daughter coming back from cancer. So what we're doing as a sort of a thank you is every single bowl that we sell at the market season this year, 100% of the purchase price is getting donated to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society.
Wow.
We raised about $30,000 last year. We're hoping to do somewhere close this year as well.
Incredible.
Some of the other things my son and I make are these really, really beautiful pens.
Stunning.
So for anyone looking for, corporate gifts or those sorts of things this year, things like the fountain pens or the ballpoint pen
Look at the little box that it comes in too.
My son and I make the boxes as well, so that's all handmade by my son and I. And then for someone looking for something very, very Canadian, we have, for example, the polar bear pen here.
Beautiful.
And you can also get other beautiful pens. If you're looking for something a little more cost-effective for your organization, we have beautiful ballpoint pens in maple.
Stunning.
The jigsaw puzzle, of course, is a torture because there's about 44 individual unique pieces of wood all glued in place around it to create the pen.
So everything is an absolute work of art.
All handmade by a slightly crazy engineer and his autistic son.
I love that. That's such a wonderful story, and so sweet of you to give back as well. Where can
doing our
people
best.
find you if they can't make the market?
We're going to be at the Sportsplex. We also do 613 Flea at Lansdowne.
Yeah.
Hopefully Lansdowne 2.0 doesn't mess things up too much.
Okay.
Separate story. But you can also find us online at Instagram. If you go to Instagram, you'll find a gorgeous photo of my daughter at last week's Light the Night.
Okay.
And we're also going to be continuing to talk about the things that we do to create things. My son and I just finished delivering a gorgeous dining room table suite to a customer on the weekend. 8 chairs that my son helped me make and a gorgeous dining room table. So we also do furniture. It's rather hard to bring a dining room table suite to the set.
A little bit. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Absolutely. And thanks to all of our wonderful vendors that will be there, of course, this weekend. And this is just a small sample of what you can find. You can head out online for more information. Here's a live look at our sky cam on George Street. Well, it doesn't feel or look like Christmas quite yet, but trust me, it is coming. There are even flurries in the forecast overnight Wednesday, so 'tis the season. Are you tired of being tired? Join us for Sleep Week, where we'll break down the top ways to get your best rest and help you wake up feeling refreshed.
Sleep Week on CTV Your Morning Ottawa. Weekdays, brought to you in part by Ontario's Sleep Care.
Hey, Ottawa, know someone who secretly makes our city amazing? We want to hear about them.
You know, the kind of person who goes above and beyond without ever asking for anything in return.
Because Move 100, CTV, and Lazy Boy want to give them a huge shout-out.
We're searching for Ottawa's unsung heroes, the everyday people doing extraordinary things. Nominate someone for a chance to win them a $5,000 Lazy Boy gift card. Nominate your local hero today.
Let's celebrate those who make Ottawa a better place.
Canadians are divided on whether Prime Minister Mark Carney should invest big or tighten his fiscal belt in the upcoming federal budget. A new survey conducted for CTV News by Nanos Research pitted running a budget to invest in programs for Canadians against balancing the budget to ease the tax burden. Why don't we bring in Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA to hear what he has to say. Good morning to you, Bill.
Good morning. Well, if they were hoping to read the tea leaves to figure out what it is Canadians want to just give it to us, which is not a definition of leadership in my book, but it's often how the Liberal government seems to do things around here. But if they were waiting for polls like ours, it is very split on what Canadians want, almost evenly split on whether or not we should focus on reducing the deficit or spending to get Canadians through a tough time. There's another poll out there, too, though, that shows actually a very strong majority of Canadians are against the idea of running up the deficit. All I know is that two things that we've been promised in the last 10 years and the last 10 months are not true. The budget didn't balance itself as the Trudeau government promised it would, and the Carney government hasn't managed to get a deal with Donald Trump, which they promised they would. I think they dragged their feet on bringing in this budget, hoping we'd have a deal. Now we go into a very uncertain future and a budget that has to deliver for Canadians who are very mixed about what it is they even need. Very few Canadians in our poll are in favor of supporting business or buffering us against tariffs ahead of the idea of making sure Canadians can afford to buy the things they need to buy. They want the government to make life easier and cheaper for them. So there's a lot they're going to have to consider here. And I'll tell you guys, I've been watching my texts. Shortly after the last election, Mark Carney had the support of many people, our listeners. I know them. They normally would vote Conservative, but they liked his resume. They thought he was the guy to get us through these tough times. They are starting to soften. A few of them were appalled to hear him apologize to Donald Trump on the weekend for that Ronald Reagan commercial, even though we got nothing. Again, another apology, nothing in return. Donald Trump still refusing to talk with us. So I think he's losing the support that got him over the hump and got him his minority government. So he's going to have to deliver tomorrow big time. And I don't see how he does that.
Okay, well, Bill, we'll be able to watch that 4 p.m. Tuesday on CTV Newsnet News Channel and also ctvnews.ca. Omar Sachedina and Bashi Capellos will be all over that. Thank you so much, Bill.
You have a great day.
You too. And you remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
Today in your neighborhood, I'm checking out one of my favorite places to relax, unwind, and yes, pamper myself. The Nail Bar Ottawa is a full-service nail salon offering top-quality manis, pedis, and just a little note that this feature was pre-recorded.
Today we are learning all about your nails and some of the different types of polish that you can get. So we are here at one of my favorite places, Nail Bar Ottawa. Welcome the owner, Noi Chu. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Nail Bar.
So Nail Bar has been established since 2017, and we were originally located on Slater Street, and then we moved here in 2021. And we offer a variety of different services: pedicure, manicure, lash lift, waxing.
So let's first start off by talking a little bit about gel polish.
So gel polish is a type of nail enhancement that gives, we can build with it and review the structure and build with the natural nail bed so that it gives a natural look, and it lasts up to 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yes, and it's comparable to all other nail enhancement, but the only difference is we use UV light.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about dip powder and how that's even just a little bit different.
Yes, so dip powder is also a different type of nail enhancement, but it's powder form, and it lasts up to 3 to 4 weeks also. But we don't use UV light.
Okay.
And it's air to dry. And with the removal is so much easier. And I find it lasts almost about the same thing. It's just everyone's preference.
Yeah, the application is a little different too, because like it sounds, you're literally
dipping in the powder.
Dipping in the powder as opposed to putting it on top of your nails.
That's right.
And lastly, let's talk a little bit about shellac.
So shellac is a polish and gel together that lasts up to 2 weeks and also used with UV light.
So it's just really preference as to what people prefer.
Exactly. Someone that, you know, don't need a lot of polish on their nails, or something that lasts for 2 weeks and that's it.
And the nice thing about dip, there's so many different colors you could choose from.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Same with shellac, biogel, and dip.
Fun.
So, I mean, you have all the choices that you want.
So for people who want to get their nails done for fall, what colors are we seeing for fall?
So right now, lots of burgundy, brown, and dark blue.
Dark blue.
And, yeah.
Fun.
Just like
moody colors, I guess. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Still to come, the Orleans Cork and Fork Festival makes its return, and it's shaping up to be bigger and better than ever. Our guests are standing by in Your Morning Ottawa Delorier Kitchen this morning. Here's a live look to our Skycam this morning. A great start to your morning, but we will see some scattered showers this afternoon.
Happy Monday. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and Will is off for today.
There you go. Come on in. We're glad that you can join us. Yes, it was a soggy Halloween, and then it started to dry out quite nicely over the weekend. Just wondering what it'll be like for the next couple of days, because Melissa, here we are. We're in November, so I'm already feeling very cozy, and I'm waiting for that SNOW.
And we could see a little tiny bit this week, even in our forecast. One of the overnight lows below the freezing, and we could see some rain changing to snow. However, it could just stay rain as well. Not a lot of accumulation, but it is popping up on our forecast models. So, you know, when we see the rain, there are some northern areas that are showing snow already. So it is coming.
We'll get into the details, but first we're going to take a look at your top stories. As City Council prepares to make a final decision on Lansdowne 2.0 this week, a local trades council is expressing very serious concerns over the decision to hand the construction contract to a non-local company. The project was awarded to a firm headquartered in Quebec City. In a letter sent to City Council obtained by CTV, Ottawa's Building Trades Union states, "This race to the bottom, lowest bid process undermines our collective efforts to make our local economy stronger, and it builds upon the growing distrust many people feel toward elected officials." City Councillor Riley Brockington says there were 3 bids for the project, but states a good price for taxpayers was top priority.
At the end of the day, we want to support as many local companies as possible, but we also want to make sure that we protect taxpayer dollars. So it's a Canadian company, maybe not local, but that's one thing that, again, we have to balance.
The $419 million project would include 2 residential towers, new Northside stands at TD Place, and a new arena. The final vote will be taken at Council on Friday.
Prime Minister Mark Carney's minority government will table its first budget tomorrow, and Canadians appear to be divided on what the priority should be.
For average Canadians, what they want to see is no cuts to healthcare at this particular point in time, but they're going to want to see investments in the long term.
According to a new survey conducted by CTV News by Nanos Research, Canadians are split on whether Prime Minister Carney should invest big or cut back on spending. The results show more Canadians are willing to accept a higher level of spending if it means investing in programs for Canadians. Support for the idea is up to about 47%, but it remains pretty much tied with the people hoping for a balanced budget that cuts taxes. The Liberals don't have the votes to pass the budget on their own, and it's still not clear which party could help them pass it. And CTV News will have special coverage of Budget 2025, hosted by Chief Anchor and Senior Editor Omar Sachedina and Chief Political Correspondent Vashti Kapelos. Coverage starts on Tuesday at 4 p.m. on CTV News Channel and ctvnews.ca.
Voters in Gatineau have re-elected their mayor in a tight race over one of her council colleagues. Maude Marquis-Bissonnette was elected with 51% of the vote, while Mario Obey followed with 47%. Voter turnout was 41%. Marquis-Bissonnette was first elected in a by-election last year. Her party picked up 11 of 19 possible council seats.
Ontario is taking a more active role in recruiting doctors from Quebec. It comes as doctors are protesting against Bill 2.
I've never seen so much distress in my colleagues. People are crying, people are stressed out. I'm going to be able to treat my patients, and it's terrible. The system is crumbling.
The special law was introduced and passed on October 24th. The new law changes how doctors are paid, tying compensation and financial penalties to performance targets. Bill 2 also calls for the creation of a system to monitor physicians. The situation caught the attention of Ontario's Premier Doug Ford.
Call 1-800-DOUG-FORD, all the docs, and come by, call me on my cell phone. It's on the internet. We'll have you working real quick.
According to Quebec's College of Physicians, nearly 200 doctors already have their license to work in Ontario. Another 200 are in the process of getting it.
A warning, traffic headaches around the intersection of Laurier Avenue and Elgin Street are set to start tomorrow. The city will start to work to improve cycling and pedestrian safety at that intersection. During construction, there will be lane reductions on 2 roadways. This comes after a 27-year-old woman died after being hit by a pickup truck at that intersection in July. And in 2019, a cyclist died in a hit and run at the same intersection. It is the end of the line for the Canada Golf and Country Club. Club Link has confirmed that the course is now closed for good as its owners move to build a housing development on the property. Club Link had first announced its plans to build 1,500 homes in 2018, but has been in a drawn-out legal fight since then over green space. In September, the Supreme Court dismissed an appeal on the decision from the City of Ottawa.
This French couple is ready for the swim of their lives.
Okay, so they are planning a massive 3-month relay swim from Cape Verde Island to, which is off Africa's west coast, all the way to Guadeloupe. Wow. That's in the Caribbean. Wow. Oh my goodness. This would see them cross 3,800 kilometers of ocean. They're going to take turns for a total of 6 hours each day.
Oof. They've also set records for the longest swimming relay and longest female ocean crossing with drifting. They are factoring in drifting in this swim since the boat they'll be swimming in each night will drift off course.
Yeah.
Wild.
3,800 kilometers. Can you imagine?
No.
I mean, yeah. In water, you know, where the water is just kind of pulling you back and pulling you in all different directions, making it so much harder.
Too, like storms and everything else, you know, the sun, the wind.
That's intense.
Okay. Hopefully we can do a follow-up.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's months and months later.
In 3 months' time to see, you know, when they make their target.
Okay.
Incredible. Incredible what people are doing. I don't think I'll do anything like that. Swimming is hard. Like, you need endurance to swim.
Whole body.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then to risk the elements of also being in an ocean with sharks. That's where I went. Sharks and stingrays and all the little fish that can bite you. Yes, exactly. No, thank you. Our height for today is 10 degrees, a little bit above average. Normal for this time of the year is around 8.2 degrees. No record-breaking temps today. The sun, though, I want to point out when it will set, 4:46 p.m. tonight, so very short days. And, of course, we know that sun is up now earlier. It's around 6:40 in the morning that we're starting to see that sun up, but those days are very short because it's setting so early. And temperature's not too bad right now, sitting at 7 degrees, so warming up pretty quickly outside already this morning to start your day off. Still quite gray. You can see these clouds moving through. We're going to see gray skies throughout the day ahead. So unfortunately, not a ton of sunshine for your Monday, and it could get a little bit wet later on as well. There is a chance of these scattered showers. This is this morning right through into your afternoon. So about a 30% chance of seeing some scattered showers or some wet weather on the way for today. Some areas already dealing with some snow. You saw the white, the purple, the pink. Pink is, of course, some freezing rain. So for us here in Ottawa, mainly just rain, and that's because temperature is fairly mild. But on top of this rain, we're expecting very windy conditions. You could see some strong southwest winds gusting 30 up to 50 kilometers an hour throughout the day ahead. So this green, this yellow, that's when we will see these stronger wind gusts, and it will kind of continue off and on in through your evening, right through into your overnight, and even early tomorrow morning as well before winds come down into the afternoon. Temperatures today right through until Wednesday, 10 degrees, so a little bit above the norm. Chance of scattered showers until then as well. Wednesday, overnight, temperatures dropping below that freezing mark, so we could actually see these showers shift into some snow. Yes, there is a slim chance we could see a few scattered flurries in the forecast overnight Wednesday. The good news is clearing up for Thursday. The sun is back, very average conditions to end off the work week, then slightly cooler into your weekend forecast.
Weather brought to you by Yegendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
So the earlier morning collision on the 417 eastbound at Carling and Kirkwood has been clear, but it has caused some backups in that area. Also on the 417 eastbound, the left lane is closed from Walkley from 7 till 5 p.m. starting today until Friday due to construction. And we are seeing the usual slowdowns on the 417 in both directions.
Something delicious is coming to Orleans. The Orleans Cork and Fork Festival returns to the Shankman Arts Center, and we've got two people who are going to be participating in the Cork and Fork Festival. Danielle Eder, talking about some wine here. Good morning to you. And I know you're going to make a wonderful creation for us here. We've got Chef Jesse Bell here. We're going to talk about you in just a second here and talk about the creation, which looks already, I'm like so interested in that. But first, a little vino.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your vineyard.
Yeah, so we're located in Navan. We grow 5 acres of grapes.
Nice.
We've been making wine on the farm since 2013. We opened up our doors in 2016, and we produce 15 different wines on the farm from the estate-grown grapes and also from Niagara grapes. So being in Ontario, we're allowed to have access to our colleagues' grapes in Niagara. And so we craft some beautiful local wines selection that I brought in today. The Viognier, that's made from the Niagara grapes, great with fish and seafood. We have the local grapes. We have the Frontenac Blanc, fantastic with spicy foods. An orange wine, super trendy, made from the local grapes as well, the Frontenac Gris. And then we have the wine I named in honor of my sister, Cuvée Caroline, a little blend of the local grapes and the Niagara grapes.
This one right here?
No, that one right here.
Okay.
And then the last one is named in honor of my mom, Eliane. It's a dessert wine, and it won best of the competition of the Cold Climate Wine Awards this year.
Mama would be proud.
Yeah.
Mama's proud. Okay, so let's talk about this one here. You're going to give me a little pour?
Yeah, so this
what's this
is going to be paired with today's dish. Viognier is a grape that was traditionally planted in Côte-du-Rhône region of France, found in New Home in Niagara. Floral on the nose, peaches and apricot on the palate.
It must be amazing having this vineyard. What's the biggest challenge for you?
Well, it's the weather. Being in Ottawa, it's we're amongst the most northerly planted grapes in North America. So always been a challenge, but now with the new genetics varieties of the grapes, we've been able to withstand the colder weather, craft magnificent wine for our local consumers.
And I would imagine some of the most pleasure that you get is, you know, you create these wonderful notes, these beautiful bottles here, and you get to name them after family members, which
It's
is
thanks
nice
to them
too.
that we're able to start the business, so it's a little tip of the hat to them. So,
Jan, Danielle, thank you so much. We've got
Pleasure.
Chef Jesse Bell here.
Hey.
So I've got a little bit of the wine that's going to pair with what you have here. By the way, this is just, it's just beautiful. Lovely.
Great on the nose.
Okay.
Gonna pair well.
Yeah, so let's talk about what you have here for us for Cork and Fork.
So for Cork and Fork, we're the Culinary Federation.
Okay.
We've got a vendor booth, but we're also hosting a senior chef competition on the Saturday night, so that's going to be exciting. So right here, I've got a Spätzle mac and cheese. So we've got a really rich old cheddar cheese sauce, some butter fried Spätzle, couple of beautiful butter poached shrimp.
Is Spätzle the pasta?
That is, yeah. It's kind of like a German egg noodle or dumpling.
Yeah. Is it cut in? Are you slicing it, or is that how it?
No, so you take the dough and you run it through a little thing called a ricer, drop it right into boiling water, and it forms little teardrop shapes.
I love it. It's kind of like a deconstructed mac and cheese here that I feel that I'm looking at here.
Exactly,
What
yeah.
else do you have here? What's this?
Some shrimp crackers.
Come on.
And then a little bit of smoked Maldon salt.
Come on. Do you mind if I smell this smoke?
Yeah, no, go for it. It's great.
What on earth is going on here? I didn't know you can smoke salt. This is awesome. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. So this is a sample of what we can expect there at Cork and Fork Festival. Yep. This is really something, and then you can pair it as well. You've got beautiful selection of wine. I think that that's wonderful. What are you looking most forward to for Cork and Fork Festival?
Well, this is my second time doing it along with the Federation. I'm looking forward to the senior chef competition. There's going to be some really great competitors and some really awesome food. But also, we're doing the vendor booth 2 times, so we get to interact with the public and cook for everybody. So can't go wrong.
This is it. Chef Jesse Bell, thank you so much for coming by from the Culinary Federation, creating this wonderful deconstruction masterpiece. Love it. I'll have to do a little taste test when a little vino too to pair it with.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much, Jan Danielle Eder from the Eder Vineyards. Really, really just beautiful. Like this is, I haven't even tasted it, but I know it's quite exquisite. It's just.
I wanted to mention there's still some tickets available for the Friday night and this Saturday afternoon session.
Okay.
So hurry up and grab your tickets. It's going to be an amazing experience. I can't wait to meet all of our friends from Orleans and Ottawa.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you both for coming by here. It's really wonderful. Cork
Thanks
and
for
Fork
having us.
Festival. Looking forward to it. You want any more information, go to orleansfestival.ca. And if you know of a great chef or restaurant you think we should feature on Your Morning Kitchen, let us know. Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca. There it is, a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Looking like it's clearing, but don't be fooled. Looks like we got some showers headed our way into the later part of the morning. 8:45, we'll be right back.
Dictionary.com just crowned their word of the year. It's gone viral, it's everywhere, and it's absolutely a word that no one really knows what exactly it means. So here's Ashley and Gord from the Morning Pickup on Pure Country 94 with the breakdown.
Listen, we still got time before the end of the year, but Dictionary.com is like, nope, we know exactly what we're doing for word of the year this year. Are you ready for this? The word of the year is not even a word. Go ahead, Gord, tell them.
6, 7. 6, 7. I'm saying it right.
Yeah,
it's
you
6,
are.
7.
6,
You got to
7.
do that thing with your arm. 6, 7.
You know, Dictionary.com, correct me if I'm wrong, is a place that people go when they need definitions of words, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, again, 6, 7, not a word, nor is there a definition for 6, 7. Why is it the word of the year?
We don't know what it means. Nobody knows what it means.
Nobody knows
that's
what it
the thing.
But the kids keep saying it, driving us all nuts.
Oh.
So we talked about this last week on the show, and we talked to a lot of teachers here in Ottawa who are facing the whole 6-7 thing in the classroom and what they're doing. Some are getting them to write, having students, if they're third-time offenders, to write out, I will not say 67 in class 67 times.
Yeah, in longhand, long form.
And longhand.
Yeah.
And I came up with this idea, is that you start saying it back to them as much as they say it to us.
So it's like giving them a taste of their own medicine.
They're going to think it's not cool.
That's right.
Case in point, my daughter, again, had friends over for a play date. And, this happened.
6, 7. Why are you doing this? I'm not a regular mom. A cool mom. I'm a cool mom. 6, 7.
They stopped saying it after that.
They stopped doing it? Yeah.
It might work on you, yeah.
That's good. I might have to try that at home.
I said this when we first started talking about 6-7 with Will. I said, no. It's almost done.
Yeah.
Teachers, hang in there. You get grown-ups talking 6-7,
Yes,
6-7. South Park featured it in one of their episodes. Oh yeah. So the word is out.
Yes.
And once people over a certain age, I would say when you're over 20 and you're saying 6-7, the kids are like, oh, it's corny. It's not cool anymore. Done.
And it's
on to something
wild
else.
how it all started and how it became a word even, because it was one of the Ball brothers who plays in the NBA. When someone asked him his height, he said 6'7", meaning like, I'm around 6'7". It's like me. I'm 5'3¼ but I say like, oh, I'm around 5'3", and that's kind of how it happened. It was like 6'7", and he did this little gesture, and then the Gen Z or whatever the generation is took it and blew it out of proportion, and now they're like 6'7". It's like a word, but it's not really a word.
It's not really a word. It's not really anything. And it was LaMelo Ball, and they took LaMelo Ball, and then there were other things too. Like there's a DJ with music, and then he had 6'7". You're playing games. Listen.
It just went off.
It just, exactly. It just is. And you just kind of have to accept it. And either you go ahead and use it, and you got to have the hand gestures, or you just wait it out. Because, like I said, nothing kills a vibe.
That's right.
Like when certain grown-ups use it after.
When our son came home saying it, he's only 5, so he's obviously picked it up from friends at school. My husband asked the younger generation on his football team, the Red Blacks, the younger guys, the 20-something-year-olds, being like, what's 6'7"? So they had to explain it, and he's like, no one really kind of knew, but it's really kind of now evolved into like, 6'7", like it's cool, like it's the thing.
There you go.
You just say it.
Ashley and Gord, I love how they took that on, and then Ashley brought it to the kids, and now they're like running away from it. Listen, you can listen to Ashley and Gord on the morning pickup weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. on Ottawa's Pure Country 94. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street. We'll be back to wrap up the show.
CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
It's budget day. We will break down what you need to know ahead of its release at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Sleep Week continues. We talk about kids and sleep. Yes, Melissa.
I'll take notes on that.
And we try some delicious dumplings in your morning Ottawa kitchen. That's going to be great. Maybe they'll bring in some gluten-free samples for you.
Gluten-friendly ones would be delicious. There's nothing like a good dumpling on like a cold
winter or cold fall day, and we're seeing that crisper air, especially in the mornings. So I wouldn't mind having a nice warm dumpling. This is a look at our day ahead. Of course, temperatures hovering around 8 degrees. We will reach a high of 10 into the early afternoon, but there is a chance of scattered throughout the day ahead. So just keep that in mind. You may need your umbrellas, and windy today as well. We're going to see some strong winds gusting 30 up to 50 kilometers an hour. So
okay, tie down that patio furniture.
Yes, exactly. Or maybe any Halloween decorations you have outside. Take them off because they might venture off to your neighbor's house or something.
All right, that is all from us here at CTV Your Morning Ottawa for November 3rd. Don't forget, you can watch any of our segments again online. Just head to our website, ctvyourmorning.ca.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again back here bright and early tomorrow morning at 6 a.m.